Thank you for coming to listen. I go by Most Julius. Just want to be the best version of myself. Thank you for coming to listen. This is YAG Radio, and we are going to do some big things this coming year. So please subscribe and please share. We need more people to give their opinions and share thoughts, and even, just give their point of view of what they believe this all means. So let's get right into it. This is a story about a brother raping his sister in the Bible. So before we get started, have you ever heard this story? So comment, have you even heard this story before? Like, I would like to know if you've even heard of this story before. And if you have not heard of this story before about a brother raping his sister in the Bible, please let me know what you think about this. If you already heard this before, how was this taught to you? What is your interpretation of what this means? So please, I'm here to get understanding. I'm not here to argue or go back and forth with anyone. It seems like a lot of people, once they get into speaking about the scriptures, they get emotional when you don't believe or say things like they've been taught to believe. So again, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm only here to understand what you mean and what you understand, and just get understanding of what I mean. So let's get started. And I want to start with Mark 4:11, because we want to get a major quote from Jesus in Mark 4:11. He said, unto them, and he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. So to them that are without, and this is the knowledge, this is the understanding, all things are done in parables. And we went over parables on this channel. We have allegory and parables, part 1 and 2, very short, informative videos on what this all means. So let's jump right into it. And all right, so the brother that raped his sister, his name is Amnon. And this starts in 2 Samuel 13:1. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. So this is David's two sons. And Amnon is the eldest son. So just like Cain and Abel, Amnon is in love with his sister, and he's the eldest. And you'll see the relation of Amnon and Cain. So the two sons is a duality, just like Cain and Abel. And the sister, and let's see exactly what the sister represents. We'll see that in the actual next verse. So verse 2, and Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin, and Amnon thought it hard to do anything to her. So we can see right offhand, she represents the spirit because she is a virgin. And I don't want to go too far off a subject, but if you look at allegory and parables, you'll see why the Virgin Mary gave birth to Jesus. You'll see why the women who laid with men were killed in the Old Testament. So just please take a look at allegory and parables. But let's get right into verse 3 is going to reveal the ego that persuaded the left, the evil, the duality inside of you to go ahead, that he's missing something here. He needs something, or he needs to do something. So verse 3, but Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemiah, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. And this is the ego. This is the I want inside of you. So you remember the snake and Adam and Eve told them that they were naked. So the snake telling Adam and Eve they were naked was telling them that they were without something. When they were in the Garden of Eden, the closest to God as anybody could ever be, the snake, the ego, told them that they were naked, they were missing something, they needed something, they needed to do something. So let's go. Verse 5, and Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when the father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. And this is very, very deep when you start to understand he wants to see it and he wants to eat it from her hand. So he wants to visually see his sister feed him. And this is so deep because this is really him searching for the spirit to feed him. So the first thing that came to my mind when I read this is Matthew 16:4. And a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh a sign, and there shall be no sign given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. So this is for anyone that's seeking to visually see something. And there's so many verses that support this. You go down in the comments and comment what verse comes to mind. I know it's one about seeing the unthing scenes are eternal. So let's go right into we got this right here. It's 2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So these are things that you are not going to visually see. So in verse 7, it says, David goes down home and sends Tamar to her brother. And between those verses 2:11, you'll see that she does everything right in front of him. And when he brought, so this is 11. I'll go to verse 11. And when she had brought unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. In verse 12, and she answered, nay, my brother, do not force me, for there is no such thing ought to be done in Israel. So this symbolically is telling you not to force the spirit. This is what religion does when they go to church, when they speak from the carnal mind and they call it the spirit. This is the emotion. This is an emotional nature. So take a look at Matthew 11:12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. So it's the violent that takes it by force. So listen to what she says in verse 13. And whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now, therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he shall not withhold me from thee. So she says their dad, the king, would not withhold her from him. And if you understand Matthew 22:2, when it says the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. So for your son, your thoughts and your desires to be fed by the spirit is what you obtain. And the king is your divine mind. So this is, and she said, this is not ought to be done in Israel, because being in Israel, that's being in the power of God, which is Isis, the spirit, plus Ra, the divine mind, which equals El, which is the power within you, just like the angel, or Michael and Gabriel. That's what it means, the power within. That's why the angels all had El in the end of their name. So remember, it says the violent take it by force. And it says, howbeit, in verse 14, it says, howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced him to lay with her. So in verse 15, it says in the next verse, and then Amnon hated her exceedingly. The next verse, he hates her, so that the hatred wherewith he had he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, Arise and be gone. So this shows you once he laid with her, this became the emotions. Don't you hate what makes you angry and sad more than you love the things that make you happy? So in verse 16, and she said unto him, There is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than than what you have done to me. So again, he would not listen to her, and he forced her to leave. So this is deeply spiritually telling us, this is letting us know forcing the spirit or using the carnal lower mind is pushing the spirit away from you, being dwelling in the emotional nature. So this is the carnal mind, or the emotions are not subject to the higher mind, the divine mind. And we may pick this up in part 2, but I just wanted to let you know what it really means when Amnon raped his sister Tamar in the Bible. Now, if you read the Bible literally and you don't understand the parable, what does this mean to you? What is this teaching you? This is the importance of really learning what these things really mean. And I really want people to start sharing these things. Even if you share it with people that believe the exact opposite, these are things people need to start hearing. These are things that they should explain to you if they would like for you to do what they think is right and follow the Bible literally. Why should I look at this your way? What does that mean to me? Like, what could you teach me about this that actually helps my life? And please share, comment. And this is the words, and these are the things that need to actually gain views. These are the things that need to go viral, things that are going to help us grow as a nation, things that are going to help us grow as one, as a world, as a divine consciousness. These are the things that's going to help us. So please start to share these things. I'll be coming out with more. I'm going to elevate this channel. I'm going to start doing more things, actually go on camera. So please subscribe if you have not. Like the video, comment your real feelings about this, and please bring more people to the channels. Even if you don't believe it, we want to know, why don't you believe this? What should we be looking at? What questions should we be asking ourselves? What questions would you like to know? Thank you. Have a nice day. I'll be back with the next video as soon as possible.